The service people get is varied from place to place.
If you don't fight for it, if you don't know, if you don't have an advocate, you're in trouble. They're just going to keep banging you back.
To some extent, you can't blame the frontline staff. They're being pressured to reduce this number, and so they're applying the rules in a much more strict way.
It is literally nose down, tail up all day.
The ability to explore their needs beyond what presents is very, very limited.
But we can see there has been a real diminishing in support for the unemployed.
We get it wrong sometimes. Absolutely don't like it. Be really honest with you about that.
I would do everything in my power to not have to go there. That would be an absolute last resort.
The much harsher administration of welfare, which has been quite a deliberate policy, and so that's included a focus on more obligations for welfare for beneficiaries, a whole lot of pre-benefit activities before you can even get any benefit, stricter and much more frequent use of sanctions, 80% of which are for minor infringements like being late for an appointment. It makes it much harder for people to get benefit, and the incentives are on work and income because of this future fiscal liability model as part of this social investment approach, to try and keep people off benefit or to get people off benefit.
We actually have to take care of $25 billion of Crown funding, and we take that responsibility seriously. So in order to give effect to two parts, first, the client having a great experience, and second, MSD being fiscally responsible, we actually have to make sure that those transactions for client-facing staff, actually we do ask them, you as a staff member and your ability, some windows are on average 30 minutes, some can be up to an hour.
You know, if you've only got a few minutes, you know, with a client, the ability to explore their needs beyond what presents is very, very limited. You know, we think that the current regime is punitive, and you know, the whole sanctions regime, all of those kinds of mechanisms mean that our members are enforcing a system that we think is doesn't work and is hard on clients, and it's hard on our members as well.
You don't get a break to take a breath and just think about it, and it does become quite challenging to engage with a client as a human being when you've got the ticking in the back of your head. When you come down to the basic staff member, there's a hell of a lot of us who've been on the other side of the desk, and good Lord, it's actually quite emotional because we go to work to make things better.
My advocate turned around and said, took ages for the application, it was just a rigmarole, and she said to me, we're going to lay a formal complaint because she'd been going backwards and forwards with the manager at this particular office. This is disgusting, this is just so bad. I've seen this so many times through grandparents raising grandchildren with grandparents that we're actually going to lay a formal complaint, which we did.
Our experience is when you've got a support person or an advocate with you, you will get a lot more of your entitlement revealed to you or talked to you about than when you go on your own as a client. Work and income staff are not greater than the law, so why is it so hard to sometimes get your full and correct entitlement out of work and income? I wonder about the level of empathy of some of the staff, and like this is a gross generalisation because it is clear that some of the staff are really good and some of the service centres are really good. One of the things that have come up from talking with the CABs is the quality of the manager and the difference that that person makes.
In 2015, 57% said that actually the poor, generally, not just the unemployed, but the poor are in need because of laziness and a lack of willpower. And that's compared to 43% who said, oh, it's kind of an unfair society. So you've actually got more than half of people saying this is your fault. This is kind of caused by your kind of choices. And that has grown since 1989, where about 38% said it was kind of laziness.
We're determined to actually be a highly effective, highly empathetic service provider, I'd use those words, and that every time a client has any kind of engagement with us, be it by phone, be it digitally, or be it face to face, that it's a positive experience.